We have returned for science. I'm your host, Boston PhD.
Uh-huh.
Joining me as always is Dr. Moon.
Hi, go to sleep. Let me protect you from viruses. The same joke I've used a million times.
That's right. We are here to pass judgment and talk about our final thoughts of Vampire Survivors, 2022's best game that definitely features vampires. Let's. We're going to talk about our final thoughts on the game and answer the only question we ask, the only question we're qualified to answer. Are we going to keep playing the game or not? And then we'll add it to our list of the greatest roguelikes of all time. Certainly
Uh-huh.
a completely infallible list that
Yep.
everybody should just go from, from top to bottom. They're all winners up there,
Dude,
except
come
for the
on, dude.
bottom ones.
Bottom to top. You can't. I'm sorry, but if you give me like 10 games I have to play and
Yeah.
you rank them in order of good to bad, I'm going to play the bad first
Okay.
every single time.
Just skip Sinless Sea, maybe. All
Maybe.
right, Moon.
Hello. Come on.
Yeah, that's true. Moon, what are your kind of final thoughts here for Vampire Survivors?
Well, I did it.
Hmm.
I got the 142.
Nice. You got the full completion. What was it, like 1,250 achievement points now, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
5,300.
Yep, and it still is installed on my Xbox, so that should give you an idea of how I feel.
Yep. You didn't race to the delete, uninstall all button.
I think I can spare the 500 megs or whatever it is that this thing
That's
takes
right.
up.
That's right. That's right.
Oh man. Oh, have we said a negative thing at all in the past 4 weeks?
Man, part of the thing I was thinking about as I was getting prepped for today's marathon of recordings is what do I have negative to say about Vampire Survivors? And I don't think I have anything.
Uh-huh.
Which is, and I'm not one to like, all right, I gotta find something to really knock it down a peg. I'm not that type of guy, but I don't think I have anything negative to say about Vampire Survivors. I think it's just an incredible game.
I think so too.
Uh,
I think this is going to be a problem.
yeah, we are recording this here on December 11th, right after at the VGAs, the monstrous, cold-hearted, unkind developer of Vampire Survivors put this
Uh-huh.
on Android and iOS. Because
Ah!
why should we be able to escape from Vampire Survivors at any point? So,
Well, my problem is like I have like the past, as of you are aware, the past like few months or whatever, my time to play video games has shrunk and shrunk and shrunk and shrunk and shrunk. Like it's
yep,
gotten minuscule, and which sucks because it's the end of the year and there's like 5 games I wanted to play
yep.
to completion in order to make the thing. But I'm not starting playing games until like 11:30, and it's bedtime at midnight. So it's like, well, I guess I'll play a round of Vampire Survivors.
Guess
Since
what game is exactly half an hour long? Here we go.
so, it's one of those things where it's like, well, I guess I'm doing this now. Maybe
Yeah,
like it's been my go-to, and maybe it's just because of the year I've had, but there's going to be some discussions about this in a week slash 2 weeks slash
right,
3 weeks slash
right,
whenever the correct show comes out in correlation with this episode.
right. Whenever we discuss games we feel are in the top games of 2022.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I it's tough because I want to talk more about Vampire Survivors because I genuinely do love it and I really do understand the groundswell of love for this game when it was in early access on Steam.
Yep.
But I think we've covered the majority of it during the show, and it's just, hey, it's really good, and you should be playing it, and you could be playing it right now while you're listening to it and hearing the popcorn
Yep.
sounds.
I literally have. It has been my go-to popcorn. My go-to popcorn. My go-to podcast game as
Oh,
well.
100%.
So like I'll just have a headphone in and then okay. So I have to bring this up now.
Okay.
I hated boss rush mode. Like I struggled with boss rush like you
It's
would not
tough.
believe.
Yeah.
Um then someone pointed out, "Hey, just use the game killer card," which I was like, "Okay, why?"
Uh-huh.
Um because it stops XP games so you don't gain any more levels.
Mm-hmm.
And start the run as Porsche and have like 5,000 in gold so you can buy all the weapons from the shop on the level.
Okay. Okay. Interesting.
Because that game killer one makes all chests contain 3 items.
Oh, interesting.
And Porsche at the beginning, because they have the lightning ring, um, they have a minus 95% cooldown.
Oh no.
So you don't level up. You have 6 straight weapons, and they're all the fun ones, like the fart and flowers, the bone, the
Yep.
stupid cart thing that goes side to side.
The one that throws
All of those.
furniture.
Yep, the
That's my
Kinder Egg
favorite one.
is there too.
I'm
Um,
I will never forget unlocking that item for the first time and like wandering around the level. I was like, what is this starting item? This like egg thing? What does it even do? And then just a baby grand piano comes out and smacks an enemy on the head, and I was like, perfect.
mhm.
I love this game so much.
Yep. But yeah, you basically you start the run with all of those items.
Mm,
You don't gain XP, so you keep your like minus 95% cooldown.
right, right.
I couldn't listen to the game because all I heard was screen, 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 and those carts coming out like one a second.
Right.
And then, of course, you kill bosses in like no time flat. So then you're just going around collecting these chests, which is upgrading the items you have because you collected the
Right.
chests.
It's playing that fun music.
Uh huh.
Man.
And it's just like, oh no, this is bad. I literally could stand still and not do anything, and I got like the thing that always got me in boss rush was the deaths. It was the multicolored death,
The blue
blue
death was the
death
one
with
that
the
was killing me.
bubbles.
Yeah.
Every time, and they didn't even appear on my screen.
That works.
Uh huh.
I love this game so much.
I honestly was debating to myself. I was like, I should do that again, but then grab Mad Groove and stick it on endless mode,
Mm-hmm.
just so it summons all of the extra items down to me,
Yep,
and I can go real nutso.
that's true. That's a good point. Did you play the new level too, the bridge?
I have not played the Tiny Bridge yet.
Okay. Okay. Vampire Survivors is great. I don't know what else to say other than it's great, and I could be playing it right now. And I haven't been because I'm working through stuff for Game of the Year, but I'm always looking at my Xbox being like, yeah, I could just hey, just play a little bit of that. No big deal. Just do some of that. All right, let's talk about where this sits in our list of the best roguelikes. We agreed before the show here. Should not surprise anybody that we'll be starting in the top 10. So as vampires... Go ahead.
Can I throw a curveball into today's colossal amounts of recording?
Oh, I would love to.
I'm going to throw a number out, and then if you agree, we stick it there and we'll say we're done. We can have an extended conversation about it. That's not a problem at all.
I like the confidence here. I'm excited to see where this is going to sit because I have a sneaking suspicion my number might be the same.
It's number 2, right?
It's number 2. I was sort of looking at the list here because if you look at our top 10 from 5 to 1, it's Dead Cells, Necrodancer, Hand of Fate, Rogue Legacy 2, and Hades. I could probably be convinced on a good day that Vampire Survivors would go over Hades, but I don't think it is right now because I think the two are like opposite approaches towards roguelikes. Like the Vampire Survivors has just this mass of content in it, and all of it is really great. But it has no kind of connective tissue in there from a storytelling perspective, and that's what
Yeah.
Hades does incredibly well. So for me, I think that's what edges Hades out a little bit more. It's the approach of Vampire Survivors is an arcade game, and that's what I think
Hmm.
some run-based roguelikes can be really good at. And Hades is like, well, what if I just keep you here for a long time with a great story and great gameplay and all this
Incredible
incredible
voice
stuff.
acting, great
Yep.
art style. Like,
Yeah. And I love all of the rest of these games and like especially the whole top 10. Um
hmm
but
yeah,
man, Vampire Survivors is just something special. I
it
just
is. It's I can't even describe it because like I generally speaking I don't play games on my PC. Several reasons for that. Number one, I sit in front of the computer all day. Don't want to do it when I get at home. That's
yep.
reason number one.
Well, let's get home
Generally
and
speaking.
sit right in front of my computer. It's like, no, please.
Also, my living situation at the moment does not allow me to really spend a lot of time in front of a computer at
Sure.
home. Like, it's more of a communal spaces kind of thing. And that's fine. But on the flip side of that, it's like I didn't see this when it hit early access. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
play it, I didn't touch it. All I heard was people wouldn't shut up about it.
That's right. That's right.
And then they're like, yeah, it'll come to, it's coming to PC Game Pass, it'll come to the console Game Pass at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, it comes out, right before we switch games to a different game.
That's right. Our next
And
game,
it's like,
Slay the Spire.
yes. And I was like, well, we might as well do this just to have it in the conversation for, end of the year stuff and things like that.
Right. I don't
It's
know if
like,
it'll
oh,
make it game of the year, but we'll slide it right on in here.
yeah. And oh boy,
Whoops.
did it turn out to be. Because people wouldn't shut up about it, and they're completely right to not shut up about it.
And now I will not shut up about it.
Uh-huh.
It's on mobile. It's $2. I also like that recently the developer has said like, yeah, we're coming out with like a big expansion. There's gonna be like 15 new weapons, 8 new characters, something like that. It is paid DLC. It's $2. It's like
Uh-huh.
okay. I will happily spend $2 to play 700 more hours of this. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because sure, why not?
Yeah.
I guess.
So if you want to know why it's number 2 on our list, it's because it is exactly that good.
Yeah.
It's
just
one of
like,
those
I
games
don't-
where it's exactly as good as people were saying it was.
And it's like, and I get it. It's a clone and whatever, and there's a bunch more clones of this coming out now, and it's just like, okay, I get it, and I hate you all for it, but I get it.
Well, and I think it's interesting because it's a testament to how a single developer can really come up with an idea that seems on the surface like it's a copy. It's very much like, oh, you just made like this wandering around like Castlevania clone. But the core of the game, it reminds me so much of the guy Alexei Patanov who made Tetris. When he was designing it and it was just ASCII graphics and he couldn't stop playing it in that state long enough to finish it. That's when he had an idea, a realization of like, oh, I might have made something kind of special. And it seems sort of like maybe this, if I was a developer for this and I got that stuff working, I'm like, oh no, man, I think I might have made something that's actually pretty fun. This seems like a pretty good position to be in. Yeah, this game's great. This game's great. It's our number 2. You should play this and you should play Hades for opposite reasons, but they're both just stellar. So
Like, it's ridiculous how good they are.
yeah,
I
reverse bullet hell as a subgenre is incredibly appealing. I hope we can start getting some real good entries in this genre because it seems like a lot of the ones that have come out so far have sort of been trying to capitalize on the success, which is fine. But I'm hoping someone out there puts out something that's real good.
Yeah, it is the quintessential one more run game.
Yeah, that's only half an hour at most. I got half an hour, sure, no big deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'm assuming that if you're listening to the show, you have played or are still playing Vampire Survivors. Maybe you're playing it right now as you're listening. I wouldn't blame you. If you're not, go play Vampire Survivors. It's like $7 if you don't have Game Pass. If you don't have Game Pass is $7. You get Vampire Survivors and what seems like 473 other games. So,
Yup.
it's a pretty good deal either way. But
I got a brand new section for our Game of the Year discussion, and it's turning pretty solid.
I see. All right. Well, congrats to Vampire Survivors for our number 2 game, and we will see you all next run. Bye.
Bye.